Starting. Hey everybody, welcome back to Tactics with Puddnhead. I'm Puddnhead, of course, and this week I'm joined by Zot. Hello, Zot.
Hey guys.
I just played this game against Alt in his Barracks Warlord that he's playing in the lower right. I am playing a Frost Elementalist in the upper left, and we needed some more data on Frost in general, so that's what I'm doing. How you doing today, Zach?
Doing great. I happened to be spectating this game with you while you were playing it, and so thanks for inviting me to help you with your commentary for the tactics. It was an interesting game.
Yeah, I reached out to Alt to see if he wanted to explain his side, but he humbly said that he didn't have anything to add, which is probably false, but that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
He'll add things in the comments. All right, we're gonna get started here. So as I said before, I'm playing a Frost Elementalist, and so my main goal is to get the enemy mage into a frozen tundra and stuck there with a lot of frosts on there. Spoiler alert, there are 0 frozen tundras in this game. Does not happen.
Not for lack of trying to plan one.
No, I tried to plan one, but it has been a very long time since I played this book. So I was making mistakes at the beginning here, and I think Alt has been owning this warlord for a while, so we'll see. All right, so I decide not to move, which I think is mistake number 1, because if he was going to play a spawn point, I needed to be close enough to be able to do damage to it. This is a fairly standard opening for me, Flower and Amulet, so that I gain 11 mana and have only spent 8 mana. So I am at 23 on turn 2 in case anybody decides to do something dumb like run at my face, and then I can Pandemonium Iron Golem and armor up.
I like his play with the tunnels with the spawn point because being an outpost subtype, and it also enhances the life of the barracks, which is one of its downfalls. So it's an interesting play. I'm not so sure that a mana shard might not be a little better here because it'd be cheaper, but it does enhance the life of the barracks, which is helps protect it certainly, and it also has the side effect of being able to move soldiers around. So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, 2 mana for the 3 life and moving soldiers seems worth it to me. Although, I mean, if your warlord was planning to stay there, then you could give your warlord the mana instead.
True, but the tunnels also being an outpost, it's a channeling on the barrack spawn point, which is kind of cool.
Right, but what I'm saying is the shard for 4 mana does channeling on the barracks.
Agreed.
And the 2 extra mana gives the extra stuff, right?
Right. 3 life on the barracks.
So my first decision here is whether or not to do more economy or to start getting my own stuff out, because I know he's going to be cranking creatures out, and I don't know what creatures are coming out
here. He has an excellent choice for his first deployment, because the Panzer Guard against an Elementalist, you're going to expect a lot of potential attack spells.
Yep.
It's a really excellent choice for a first spawn creature.
But it does put him at 3 mana, so he's going to have to find something to do with his 2 actions. And I don't know what that's going to be. Well, I mean, I do know what he's going to do. I don't see, I don't understand why he's going to rouse the beast, this guy, right now. He could have just cast Defend. I think one of the reasons to do this, and so it might have been a really good play, is that he wanted to not spend his mage's action. He wanted to spend his creature's action, and so he could act a second round in a row. I'm not sure it was worth it. Well, okay, we'll just pause here for a second. So in this game, you're going to see he uses his second action to ritual. I decided to go economy and play an elemental wand. I was expecting his mage to have to go, so I would be able to see what he's planning to do, and I would be able to pick my spell on the elemental wand based on what his mage did. So, in effect, the Rouse the Beast did throw me off what I was planning to do, but the choice still remained between something with fire or something with lightning. Um, and you have any comments before I keep going, Zat?
Um, I agree that lightning or fire is the kind of where you might want to go with that, especially with the Panzer Guard being lightning.
Yeah,
And then of course the barracks being flame plus. It's a dilemma, and I guess you can explain your reasoning for your choice here if you'd like.
yeah, I could. So I do end up going with lightning because I figure he's got this defensive creature. He's probably playing a highly defensive warlord, so I'm expecting more knights and panzer guards. Um, Turns out that's not what happens. But so I chose arc lightning on here
And the arc
because
lightning is an excellent choice because it's unavoidable and
right,
lightning, and with a potential bonus on the die roll that you might be able to get a stun and knock the Panzer Guard off of a guard status, which will negate his interceptability.
right. So that was the choice. I was going to see if I could um, just smack down the Panzer Guard pretty quickly. So my plan here is to Hawkeye and um, and see what I can do to get rid of that. I think I second guess that and do something else because I'm like I need to have some creatures out here. So I think I Pandemonium and Iron Golem this turn. Um, but he has used Ritual, which means he's down to 34 life. Um, this is an interesting thing about Ritual right now. Um, the 34 life, actually the 32 life that he ends up with, because he's going to Ritual again this turn, ends up mattering in this game with some of the decisions that get made at the end. So, um, Ritual Kelek is not free.
Nope.
He's not.
And it's
He's
much
not
better now
free.
that it's life loss. It's a much stronger balancing feature. And this is an interesting choice. So, not knowing what you put on your elemental wand, it's pretty ballsy to put out a flame plus creature.
Yep.
Um, that's an interesting choice on his side. And he must feel really confident in his Panther Guard's ability to offset the fire attacks that might come his way.
Right. Right. Or give me too many targets for my fire attacks so
Right.
that
So
I
now
have to.
he's potentially, do I kill the um, troll or do I kill the barracks? And with the
Right.
barracks being a little bit more beefy with the tunnels.
So I opt at this point to cast Pandemonium and activate the Fire Glyph because I am planning to get +2 damage with Arc Lightning on the Panzerguard next round. And the Iron Golem is there to make it dangerous for him to come closer to me.
Yeah, you can't really go wrong with the Iron Golem.
Yeah. And I use the Earth Glyph to get my mana back there because I'm going to need Primo
Every bit of
mana
it.
to get some stuff. So my entire plan right now is to try and ace that Panzer Guard with an 8 dice Arc Lightning, followed up by an attack of some kind. So if I can use my quick cast to Panzer Guard to hit the Panzer Guard with Arc Lightning and then walk in there with an Iron Golem attack, it's gone pretty much. Um, he casts Ritual again because he needs a few manas. This is I do like this play because he's getting some really big creatures out there and um and keeping himself with some mana. Now the issue here is neither one of us has put on any defensive capabilities. So if somebody were running at either of us, it would be a different game, of course. We'd be scrambling to get armor on. But that is not happening right now. So I'm kind of ruining my choice for Arc Lightning right now because he's got two fire fire resistant things. but I don't have a Flame Blast in here. So if I had had a Flame Blast, I might have put it on the wand just to get past the Panzer Guard and be able to do extra damage to the barracks. I was running Fire Streams just for that 1 mana cheaper. 1 mana cheaper, not thinking I would need to get through unavoidable stuff.
I don't know that you had mana problems at any point during the game, really.
I didn't.
Well, the
That
double flower helped offset.
Yes, the double flower is something I really, really like in Elementalist. Really like it. You don't open with it because you can get more mana by opening with Amulet Flower and then flower something else. Um, so I usually do flower Elemental Mail or flower.
Can you
Uh,
explain why you went with flower over something such as the mana crystal from the Arcane school, which is flame immune?
I go with the Mana Flower. If when I have a choice between Crystal and Flower, I go with Flower because of Meridia's Blessing. That's all. But now that they've changed it so that conjurations don't count, or no, the conjurations count, but non-token conjurations, is that right? Is that what the change is?
That sounds right.
I think it's non-token. So because that gives me at least a fighting chance at being able to take that over from somebody. But if I run crystals, there's no way.
And
Um,
there's a potential tactical decision or a strategic
yeah,
decision.
yeah, yep. And if you're planning to throw a whole bunch of fire around, crystals are really a good choice too. So
Mhm.
um, yeah,
And his choice of the watchtower tells you that it's a place where he can use his tunnels to migrate creatures to. This
yep,
counts as an outpost.
yep. The tunnels to the watchtower is great. And that means that if I go in here to attack the barracks, he can tunnels over here and get extra shots on me. But if I come down here to attack the watchtower, he can still get shots on me from the barracks.
Right.
So,
And it also enhances the channeling on the barracks.
mm-hmm. And I'm actually expecting him right now to double wall this or to get started with walling this. Um, but instead, he decides to go with Goblin Alchemist, and this turns out to be an excellent choice on his part. The corrodes are obviously good against an Iron Golem. Um, Turns out that my plan this round is Hawkeye and Frost Elemental, so the fire is really good against my Frost Elemental. Um, and one could argue that I wasted time with Frost Elementals because I wasn't on top of my game here. I could have started just double blasting these guys as they came out, or getting rid of the barracks and then double blasting them, and then once I've gotten control of the board, I can get my stuff out and beat down the enemy mage. But that's always challenging as well. So he's got a good crew lined
Goblin
up
out.
here.
Yeah, the alchemist is just a solid creature in general.
And the way he built this starting is he's got a lot of protection for that alchemist right now. So there's my frost elemental.
And I
And
saw the smile and the jumping down glee from the goblin alchemist.
yep, yep. Goblin
Did you see
alchemist
him?
is
He
going to
went
get some
woohoo.
damage. Sure did. So you get with the frost elemental, you get the air and the water glyph. So I use the water glyph for mana, um, because I don't need the water glyph right now, and I'm planning to use both the fire and the air glyph on the Panzer Guard next turn.
So I guess, do you still think he's going to put walls up, given that all the protections in the barracks zone? The likelihood of putting a wall there with no watchtower seems unlikely.
Yeah, no. Once he spawned a creature, I didn't think he was going to wall. He needed to double wall or do nothing, I think.
Right.
So I didn't know if he was planning to pump out a bunch of ranged creatures and then keep the Panzer Guard there to keep them alive and run interference with the troll. But it looks like he was just going to have the option for the watchtower, which turns out I think he used it once or twice. There's my Hawkeye. Because the troll went up there, so we should probably talk about this a little bit here. He chooses, there's an Iron Golem and a Frost Elemental right in here. The Panzerguard and the Troll are right in here. Instead of coming in to attack with his Troll, he decides that he does not want to put himself in that much danger. So he's going to run away, basically. But he's going to run away forward so that he can come hit my Elementalist if I don't
start
move
threatening your
myself.
mage.
So I put the Iron Golem up here to be a deterrent. Basically, I don't come in here, you're going to get whacked by 12 dice because I can steal my Golem's attack and hit you as well. 12 dice plus whatever's on this wand is scary even for a bridge troll. So yeah, I think he wanted to be able to come in if he could, but he also, maybe he did this to get my Iron Golem out of there so that I wasn't concentrated anymore, and that it worked if that's what he was doing. The other reason I moved the Iron Golem up here is because now he's not next to the Goblin Alchemist, and he's not going to get corroded.
Do you think you should have moved the Iron Golem into the barracks zone instead of up?
I could have done that, but if I have moved it in there,
He would get a couple of attacks off right away. Well, one of them.
Yeah, see, I wasn't positioned in a place where I could hit this with my arc lightning before.
Right, and part of the reason for that is the fact that the Pandemonium is not a traditional spawn point. Right. It is a spawn point that uses your mage's full action, so he can't move. So that's part of the reason why, with the 0 to 1 on your arc lightning, you're out of position.
Yep, that's why I'm out of position. Action. So in order to hit this guy with arc lightning, I need to move. And I think I was planning to now this time, so I have a choice here. Am I going to fight against the bridge troll, or am I going to fight against the Panzerguard? The Panzerguard right now is not dangerous to me. It's just in the way. It's too many hit points in the way of what I want to kill. The bridge troll is now away from the things that are going to keep me from killing it. So I have the option to attack the bridge troll this turn, or follow up with my plan to attack the Panzerguard this turn and maybe take a hit or two from the bridge troll.
Do you think that his move up of the troll was an attempt to bait you in general? Because he can always move it back down in the protection of the Panzer by taking up some of your resources, move down and heal up. So the move up might have been a bait maneuver in general.
It might have been.
Sure, Iron Golem out of position from attacking his stuff in the barrack zone, right? And with it being slow, you're kind of stuck.
That's the trick with the Iron Golem. The Iron Golem is actually usually in an Elementalist book so that the Elementalist's basic attack gets 6 dice.
Right.
So, yeah. I think I make a blunder here in not too long. I had an idea of what I should have done better maybe on this turn. We see regen.
So how much mana does he have? He has 11 mana.
He has 11
for initiative, right?
Yep, it's my initiative. So what I
believe you correctly anticipated his cards.
Oh yeah, I figured he was going to ballista this turn,
right?
For sure.
And so the choices for his locations for the ballista above the barracks or below the barracks.
Yep, those are your only two
choices. And that might have been another reason why he moved the troll up.
Right, above the barracks is how you kill all of my stuff, right? So if you can protect it above the barracks, then you win the game, I think. Honestly. I don't remember what I prepared this turn. I think it takes me a long time to figure out what to prepare. I eventually prepare a fire stream and something else. I don't remember what else I prepare.
And I think
We'll
a
get
frost.
there eventually. Did I get a frost elemental? I think if I did, that was a mistake. Oh, Firestream. Yep, Firestream Frost Elemental. And why I think that was a mistake is because if I had attacked with my Flame Blast and pumped it up, right? So that is 4 plus 2 plus Hawkeye, so that's 7, and plus 2 here. That's 9 dice against the Bridge Troll, and then I would reactivate the Fire Glyph, and I could come in there and punch with my Mage for 8 dice. So 9 plus 8 is an average of 16, average of 17, and likely to off the Troll. And if I can off the Troll this turn, I don't need another Frost Elemental yet, right?
See, the frost elemental as a preparation doesn't necessarily hurt you because you can still steal the attack bar and use it and not cast the frost elemental.
Right. But I think I cast the Frost Elemental instead. And I think I did that because this Flame Blast, or this Fire Stream only does 8 damage to the Troll. And I'm expecting it to do more. And he
But it's
reveals
only
my
half
eye.
its health, right?
Yeah, so it gets, well, it gets 10 damage on 9 dice. So,
Pretty awesome.
that's good. That is good. But there's no burn, right? Um, even though it's a 6-up burn.
That was a position that you probably could have done something different into the
Yeah.
troll.
So right here, if I had gone in here and
And
attacked the Bridge Troll,
you could have stole the attack bar of the iron golem or the frost elemental. With the frost elemental, a couple freezes might have put it close to dead.
that's true. So yeah, I think this is a tactical error. Instead of leaving the Frost Elemental here for now, what I should have done is gone in here with my mage and done 3 damage to my mage or to the Frost Elemental, and um, and pumped up twice, right? So that's 6 mana. 6 mana, 3 damage. That's a big, big hit. But then I'm doing 7 dice plus almost guaranteeing 2 freezes. And if I get 2 freezes and 7 dice, that's an average of 11 damage, and that would kill it, right?
No, it's not
So,
11 because you got the armor. So it'd be 5 plus
well, yeah,
4
but
is
11,
9.
11 damage, but
Right.
9
Minus
damage
2
is
is 9.
enough,
Right. Right. So
right?
that
And if I had moved in here, right, and the troll had survived, the troll would hit me back, which would hurt.
minus 1 for the freeze.
Yeah, so it would be 4 dice. Not too bad. But then would also hit me again when it activated, or would run away. If it ran away, it would have to run in here,
And your frost
where
elemental still was up there, right?
and the frost elemental would still be here. So what I could do is next round, I could I could put the frost elemental in here then and attack the panzer guard, and see if it dodges, basically. But then I'm in position and I can move the Iron Golem in here so that if he keeps the troll there, I can hit it with the Iron Golem, right? So I think that would have been a better position. I would have taken more damage if the troll hadn't been killed, which it was likely the troll would be killed, but stuff happens. Um,
Right.
I am still anticipating a ballista this turn as well. So staying back here means that the ballista either goes up here where I can do more fire damage to it, or goes down here where it can't hit me.
And I think that now that discussion right there is part of the reason why I think you move down with the frost elemental, because
Right.
it begins to threaten the zone where the warlord is if he wants to put the ballista there. Furthermore, by moving the elemental down, you're out of range of the goblin fire attack.
Yep. Well, I don't have to move him this turn. The goblin is already attacked. Like I could have moved him last, you
True.
know. So if I had gone in here and stolen the attack, I think that would have been a better move. Um, so and I would use my glyphs to their maximum effect, which would have been nice. So mistake number one. And so because I'm not here, he gets to double move down there, and then I come down. I come over here with the Iron Golem.
The reason for that was,
The reason for that was because I had a Frost Elemental to pop into this zone if he came in here.
and if he wanted to move up and put the ballista above the barracks, then your golem's already positioned to attack it.
Right. So that basically forced him to put the ballista here. He's going to come in here and do some good damage, and then drop his ballista. So, yep. Now I have a 8 damage left Frost Elemental, and it's his initiative, and he has a ballista. So, uh, that's not a good place. If I could have killed that troll, I would have been in a much better place, I think. So 6 mana on the barracks. He's going to pop something else out this turn. I forget what it is. Is it the Kelsar Ranger turn? I think. And this Frost Elemental is not going to be able to do much unless I can take care of this Panzer Guard, right? So I think this turn I'm going to, Lesser Teleport for the Golem. And I prepare Frozen Tundra, trying to get it out there. So he's going to throw a boulder at this, which is great for me because he's used a boulder and I can sack Pandemonium to reanimate the Frost Elemental. That's what I do. So he pushes my Frost Elemental away. He's trying to keep these guys as far away from his mage as possible.
Yeah, because essentially he's going to say, keep away from me and just melt over there.
Yep. I mean, it takes 11 turns for them to melt on their own. So So this Frost Elemental has soaked up 23 damage so far. I don't want to be 2 times speed. All right, there we go. So I move in here, and he regards. The reason I move in here is because I want to use these guys last. Okay. So I think I move over and lesser teleport the Iron Golem in so that he can do some damage. And then I'm going to use my quick cast and all of these glyphy things to get as much damage on the Dwarf Panzerguard as possible. So he's going to use his Dwarf Panzerguard this turn, I think. Oh no, he's gonna use fire attack on my elemental again because why not? It's flame +2. Now I'm going to say the Panzerguard is my biggest problem right now because it's keeping me from hitting what I want to hit.
Well, guarding in general, the fact that it's Panzerguard is just a nuisance. But in general, guards are interfering with your plan to beat things up.
Right. So I accidentally click the. It takes me a long time to figure this out. Instead of clicking both, I clicked. So he has played a glancing blow on the Panzerguard, which is brilliant. I love this card. You can use this card. Yep. You should use this card because no matter what, it reduces the attack by 3 dice. And on a Panzerguard, you're going to want to do a lot of dice to it. So really good. So I end up only getting 4 damage with my Arc Lightning, but I get the stun, which is great for me. And now I can hit it with my Iron Golem. Actually, I now I have a choice. Do I want to attack the Goblin Alchemist?
Actually, you should pause this for a second. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because now the tactics here is what do you do with your Iron Golem attack? And so you have a wide array of a buffet of choices. It's the proper decision, right?
Yeah, you got a lot of things you can hit. You could hit the barracks, the troll, the ranger, the alchemist, or the Panzerguard.
And you could discount a couple of these choices pretty quickly because
you don't need the ranger.
Right? You could outright kill the ranger, but is it really a threat? Not really. But you could kill it. The troll, the damage you're going to put on it unless you're going to follow it up with more attacks, um, which is a possibility, is a not
Right.
terrible choice. The Panzer Guard being stunned means his defense doesn't work. You could attack him and put a little bit of damage on him. He does have 2 or 3 armor.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with the Troll. He has 2 or 3 armor, and he regenerates 3 of your damage.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got the Alchemist, who is dishing out a lot of damage on your frost elementals, which is part of the point of your book.
Right.
So,
So I need to
um,
do eventually. I decide I need to do 9 damage to kill the alchemist. I need to do what is this? I need to do 8 + 3. I need to do 11 damage to kill the Panzer Guard, which is possible because I will have an arc lightning at the beginning of the next round. But I will have an arc lightning at the beginning of the next round, which means I can hit him again and hit him with the golem if I need to, right? Um, so ultimately, I decide to attack the Goblin Alchemist and see if I can make him go away. Because the likelihood of killing this threat is higher than the likelihood of killing this annoyance.
and the Panzer Guard can do nothing. He's already acted, so the stun is on him now.
Oh, he hasn't. That's the last guy he hasn't activated.
Oh, right, for this round, right. But he won't be able to guard with that action.
So I do get 8 damage on the Goblin Alchemist, which is really helpful. That is like that is one of the really most helpful things that's happened for me this game. The stun was good too, but I made that happen by spending extra mana.
And this game has been good for showing frost, showing the glyph manipulations for things other than mana. It was a really interesting game for that.
Yeah, I every time it's planning phase, I'm planning what glyphs do I need to maximize the use of my creatures and my stuff. Um, this frost elemental is going to bite it this turn, pretty much guaranteed. So I can either cut the warlord off down here by putting a wall down so that he can't do anything here, but he could also spawn something that is irritating. And this is the point at which I say if he pops out one of these stupid little guards, I'm gonna be really pissed. And that is
Yeah.
exactly what he does. Hire
Yep.
bodyguard.
And yeah, the veteran bodyguard. You called it during the preparation. I recall. He goes, he's going to deploy one of those crappy little hired bodyguards and
And
aggravate.
this, folks, is why you want to have sweeping spells in your book. Because if I had just played Whirling Strike on the Iron Golem or something, I would have been able to hit 3 different things that I wanted to hit.
That would have only cost you what?
Only cost me
Two, four,
6
six,
spellbook
six
points.
spellbook points. Yeah.
But I mean, you could replace that with a flame strike or a lightning strike or something like that. Like I could just hit it with my quick cast rather than with an action.
And I
But
want to say, Whirling
Alt is
Strike
doing
is
a
also a full
great
cast.
job in this game. Alt is doing a great job of making me split my damage up. Right.
Yeah, he's been playing very well.
So he puts this bodyguard out so that I have to attack something that is not what I want to attack. He's been doing this all game, and it's really irritating and really good play. So,
Yes, it
and
is.
he's been focusing my guys down. He's made sure he has enough damage to kill the things that I've brought out.
Yeah, he played
He
really well.
he did. Now he did 23 damage to a frost elemental in order to kill a 12 damage pandemonium, but you know, whatever. That's okay. I also have another frost elemental in the book, so if I needed one, I could play another one. The the Kelsar Ranger is how he's going to utilize this Archer's Watchtower to good effect. And there's that hired bodyguard. That card
Made
I wish
possible
never
by the
got
hidden
printed.
tunnels. Yeah.
I
Well,
hate
thank
this
God it
card
wasn't a
so
quick
much.
cast. It used to be a
Yeah.
quick cast.
Ugh. Yeah.
Then we decided, no, that's too good.
Yeah. But this is why you put one of these guys in your book if you're born in barracks, because it can really mess things up. He has kept this troll alive so hard that it has regenerated all that damage I
Mhm.
did. Brilliant play, really good job. And that's, you protect the creatures that you need to protect,
Yep,
and you
because
sacrifice
one
the
of his
creatures that you need to sacrifice. And
is basically keeping out one of his main power offense cards, and he's sacrificing a what cost him mana, 1 mana, or was it free? It was free, probably. Yeah, hired bodyguard.
yep, it was free,
Yeah,
absolutely free.
yep. So for one spellbook point and a free deployment, he was able to do that. And here it comes. I think I called this. He's probably got a
Yep,
strike in there.
you called this one for sure. Flame
Yep.
strike kills the frost elemental, and that makes this troll a monstrous 6 dice 3 armor creature, which is pretty crazy.
Yep, because it
Pretty
gets that
crazy.
token for destroying a creature with a melee attack.
Yep. Yep. The strike cards are really good for the Bloodwave Warlord. Really good.
Yep.
He moves it over eventually, I think.
Yeah. Again,
And
stellar play on his part.
yep, no, this is really good.
He's got
And
this game well in hand. You're
and
down
this
to
is this the part where, yeah. Oh, I don't know. I think I wait until my Iron Golem is dead before I switch tactics here. Um, so I'm at this point, I'm just like, how am I going to kill this Panzer Guard? I need to kill this stupid Panzer Guard. So, um, what I end up doing, I think, is
I think you pass here.
I think I pass because I want something to have gone before I move something.
Yep.
That there's an argument to be made that I could move the Frost Elemental in now and try and get some damage on the Warlord. That would be reasonable. Um, I didn't do that because I was worried about the counterattack from the troll.
Do
But
you
now,
think the strike cards might, as a function of their attack, they could be changed to do make it this is not terrible, that it uses the action marker on the creature it targets?
no, it already doesn't use melee plus.
That's true.
So yeah, I don't. I think that the whole design for the strike cards was so that you could get something like Power Strike to
I
act right
think
away.
that they're a little dumb in that, here's the flavor for this, here's the flavor for that. I thought they should do other things. Like,
Sure,
the Holy Strike does this and the Flame Strike
there's
does
there's room
that.
for that. There's sure room. There's room for that. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I do like
You
that they do an attack.
right.
Um, the problem is there were a bunch of them in print already, and we
Yeah,
have to print them.
don't get me
If we
started.
could only print
Okay.
one of them, then that would be great. So here I move
Why?
in, and I decide that I'm going to steal the Iron Golem's attack to kill this higher bodyguard.
Yeah. And why did you move
Um,
in then instead of passing one more time?
I couldn't. It was 3-3.
My mistake.
So I had to move
Yeah,
in.
that's right.
So I do that, and then he guards with the Panzer Guard, which is exactly what I want him to do.
Right.
Because I want to Arc Lightning this guy again, and then Iron Golem him and kill him.
Yep.
So I Arc Lightning, and it doesn't go as great, but I do get the stun. And then the Iron Golem completely whiffs, pretty much. One
Three
more
blanks.
damage.
Yep.
One more damage would have done it. But um, yep. And now the troll is gonna attack the Iron Golem because that's the big threat. That's what's making my mage dangerous. Which I agree with this. I do agree with this. He's got the barracks. He can constantly pump out more guys, and if he kills my threats, I have to hardcast all of them. So if he kills my threats, then he wins the game.
And so, in an attempt to prevent the ballista from attacking your frost elemental, I think you move it in and attack
Yep.
the ballista, right?
Yep. I move in and attack the ballista, and this gives me options to attack the mage next turn, or to go into the barrack zone. So this is the right choice to move in. To note, the frost conditions don't do anything to conjurations, and they can't be removed because they're removed after acting. So if I were to put a frozen tundra in this zone, that ballista would die in 2 turns from the damage, because frozen tundra does object damage to objects that have freeze conditions on them. And here he uses the tower and the ranger to shoot at the elemental, which is a really good play. Gets 4 damage on him. Crazy.
Making use of his watchtower.
Yep, really good.
Yep.
I really wanted that Panzerguard to be dead, but at this point, I realize it's his initiative, and I'm going to lose my Iron Golem, and my Frost Elemental is going to have a ton of damage on it. So
Yep.
I have to switch strategies.
This is the point in the game where Alt is essentially winning the game after this turn, if you don't change what you're doing.
If I don't do something, he's going to win the game. So I either need to kill this barracks and then take this stuff out, or I need to change course and go for the mage. As I noted earlier in the game, neither of us has much defense on. So that ends up making the choice fairly simple.
Right. Yeah, I said you're losing.
I only have 7 life left on the Iron Golem, and he's going to Ballista troll it probably, which is 5 unarmored dice, well, almost unarmored dice. 5 dice plus 6 dice, 11 dice to do 7 damage to 5 armor. Not
Dicey,
guaranteed, but yeah, quite doable, right? Quite doable. And you got the ranger if you need it. So
right.
So his plan this turn should be to kill this Iron Golem.
Yep.
For sure.
He could always toss something in from his mate if he can too.
That's true. I debate long and hard whether or not he's going to pop out another bodyguard, whether or not I should try and kill this Panzerguard, because I've thrown so many dice at it already, and it only has 1 health left, and I'm just like, how am I going to do this? I do have a wand of ice and fire in here, so I could just play it and put a freeze token on there and kill it. But that takes 2 actions. I have Frost Trap in here. I could just put a Frost Trap on it, and when it activates to unstun, it dies. That's a lot of mana. So choices. I end up saying if I need to, I'll just Arc Lightning again. But my plan is going to be to either kill the barracks or kill the troll this turn. Because clearly he's going to try and kill the Iron Golem. And if he doesn't kill the Iron Golem or put a bodyguard out, then... So he's going to reinforce his Ballista. Now, I haven't seen Reinforce played ever, so this is cool to see it played. It gives it 3 armor and 4 innate life.
Disincentivizes attacking the Ballista.
Yeah, it makes it so that it's not really worth attacking at this point. I could probably do it with, and he gets a crazy roll with the Ballista there, and then of course the troll kills the Iron Golem. So now...
So you want to pause here?
Yeah, we can pause here.
Right. So this board state looks horrible.
Yep,
for the
bad.
Elementalist.
It's very bad.
So he's got Izzy out there. He's got a protected troll who's doesn't have any damage, and it has a vet token.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, his Panzerguard's about dead, but he's got free range rangers, and he's got his mage to do things, and the Ballista, which has now been protected some too. So all around, the Alt's board state is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the point in the game where you have to recognize, okay, if I can manage to kill something here and remove a threat, then do I still have the ability to win? So your choices are getting rid of the troll or the barracks, so that if you get rid of the barracks, the mage is going to have to hard cast anything else. But you're still going to have to deal with all these other things that are on the board. So meanwhile, you're going to be eating a lot of damage to do that. And the amount of damage output to kill the barracks or the troll, which is the main problems, secondarily the Ballista, that amount of dice you turn around and think of it as like, if I apply that to the mage, what's that?
Right.
And
You,
there's
you
where
need
your
to ask that
tactics,
question. Yep.
that's the question to ask. So there's where it's like, I think your only shot here is to kill the mage.
Yep. That is the decision that is made. I have to kill the mage now. And I have to do it in a manner that is brutal and efficient.
Because given that you're unprotected, he has a lot of things on the board to deal damage. He's got 6 dice coming from the Bridge Troll, 4 dice from Izzy, the Kelser Ranger for 2 dice, the Ballista for another 5 next round, or 2. So that's half your life pretty quickly.
Right. And I notice that I have an air glyph active from before. I haven't used yet, and I haven't used it on mana um, because it hasn't been my turn yet. Um, so I realized that what I should do first, because you always want to use something that's closest in case they run away, or something that's farthest away if you can get it there, and in case they run away. So if he moves up with his warlord, my elemental can't do any damage to him. So I need to use my elemental next. So I go in
Right.
there with the
And he
elemental,
has initiative.
and yeah, he has initiative. So he just used the troll to kill my iron golem now.
Okay.
So
There you go.
it's my turn.
Right.
So
So
I need
rather
to
than
use the
passing,
frost elemental instead of passing to go in here and active and use the glyph to get a 3+2 freeze.
the side
Um,
benefit from that is that you move out of range of the archer benefiting from the watchtower if it
right.
chooses to attack the frost elemental. Um, and you also next round are 2 zones away from the troll and Izzy. So
Yes.
they're not going to get free attacks off that way either.
Right. So it preserves my frost elemental and does damage to the enemy mage. So it is the right choice. And this is where I'm deciding what to do here. Because there's no way I'm going to win in the creature battle at this point. So here we go. Use the air, and I get 2 frost. He makes me re-roll the defect die, but it doesn't matter because the 3+ will do it, and I get a 6. So um, um,
He moves up instead of left
yeah.
and
So
enchants Izzy.
I think this is a problem. I don't know if this was the right choice. Okay. So if he stayed put, I wouldn't be able to go in here and use the frost elemental to get more frost damage on him,
Correct.
right?
So I
I
don't know why
could.
he moved up either, unless he was trying to get near his Panzer Guard to get some protections
He
there.
moved up so that he could, if I came in here, his ballista could still shoot me.
Right.
That's why, I think. I mean, I don't know, but that would be my guess. If he moved here, then yeah, he could use the ranger with extra dice, which would really good. The Panzer Guard can do nothing this turn except for deactivate itself. So I have moved in here, and I'm gonna steal this attack, and then I realize the correct order to do this in is to arc lightning first, so that I get my air glyph, and then move in and steal the attack with the added +4. Um, so that's
It
what I'm
took a
gonna
while
do.
to make that happen.
And this is frost with the elementalist. You have to activate air as much as possible, and then use it as much as possible to get +4 on that effect die, because frost wins on effects. Um, that's kind of what you have to do. I do have an ice ring in here that I could use, but I just never had time to put it on. So I get the days off, which doesn't matter to me. I get 2 damage, which is great because any little bit of damage helps, and he has only 1 armor on. And then I'm going to come in here and use the frost elemental. And because it's been so long since I used octagon on this, I didn't realize that he already had the frost glyph on him, and I could just attack with him and get get the roll and then deactivate my glyph just manually. I was trying to do it with the automation and it wasn't working. So here we go. We get the 2 dice.
And at this point, the Warlord is sitting at 8 damage and 3 frosts, which is actually
14.
14 damage out of 32.
Out of 1 round of focusing the Warlord, we 14 damage out of 32. Frost stacks up, and it's dangerous when it stacks up. When you can get 2 frost for every action that you do, or 2 freeze for every action that you do, that is very dangerous. So it's my initiative now, which is great for me, not so great for Alt. And what I want to do is I want to come up here and hit with the Frost Elemental and then do something with my quick cast to get as much damage on him as possible. So I'm going to Boulder, I think, and then prepare something for if he runs away. If he runs away, I need to have something that I can do to him, or if he gets this Panzer Guard in here after my first action, then I can't attack him anymore. So I need to have something that is not an attack or that will circumvent him running away. So a range 2 Frost Trap keeps the frost coming and will activate my glyphs for me, which will help me get more frost off later on. Also, I do have the option, if he prevents this guy from coming in, of activating my own glyphs with Arc Lightning, or whatever. So having a wand is really helpful. Most people will spend a turn to get rid of that wand. I'm not sure. I think in this game, if he had gotten rid of this wand, it would have been less good for him because I would have cast another one with a fire stream on it, and that would have been more dangerous for him. So, or a beam of frost on it. But I mean, it would basically cancel out one of each of our actions. I've used this Arc Lightning how many times this game? Like 3, 4, something like that. Maybe just 2. No, 3.
2, I think.
I've hit this guy twice with it, and I've hit this guy once with it.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't remember if I use it again before the end of the game. So I have prepared Hurl Boulder and Frost Trap. I am planning to use both of those after the Frost Elemental comes up here and hits, because he can get away from the Frost Elemental if I wait too long. This is where Alt realizes that the Resonance ability targets, right? So I have to be able to see the Frost Elemental in order to use its ability. So he's actually going to cast a wall down here, and that's not great for me. But
another stellar play on his part to keep the elemental out of you attacking him, and your ability to steal the attack. It's a stellar play.
2 birds with 1 stone right there.
Yep.
Very nice. Very nice indeed.
And you did not change your spells as a result of his question either.
No, I didn't. Because I figured I had options with the Arc Lightning. And I was going to just throw a boulder at him anyway. So he's getting more creatures out because he wins the creature game, hands down. If he can just get more little damage on me, he wins.
And he's conserving mana by putting out something cheap.
And the other reason that I picked Boulder and Frost Trap is because that will activate 3 of my glyphs, and I can use one of them for armor, and I can use one of them for healing, and I can use the other one to get that effect roll on the frost. So planning these cards was intentional to activate the runes in order to use them for what they were doing and get their effect. That is one thing I absolutely love about the Elementalist. So
it certainly is a complex mage to play. And the Wall of Earth in school, 5 mana, excellent stellar play. Again, all doing some great work here. I just don't know that he realized the danger he was in when you switched gears on him.
Yeah, the Elementalist doesn't go from 0 to 60 as fast as the Dremelic Warlock does, but has a pretty fast turnaround time. So that's always a danger. always a danger.
So, and that's a cautionary tale in general, where just because you're winning the creature game doesn't mean you're going to win the game.
So I can't use this guy anymore. So I'm going to go move him there. And then I'm going to throw a boulder because nothing's in my way yet. I do get a very nice boulder roll. Very nice boulder roll. That is 12 damage on 8 dice, which is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, but you were also low rolling most of the game too.
That's, yeah, I mean, there were some low rolls. I had some low rolls. All
Yep.
right, so now he's got his guard and his intercept. So he is safe from all of my attack spell shenanigans, which is fine with me because I planned for that. I knew that's what he was going to do because that's the right thing to do. And he's been doing the right thing most of the time, if not all of the time. So I put an enchantment on him, which is going to keep the freezes on there so he doesn't get to keep losing them. Right. And I move up so that I can be away from his damage. Right? I do not want to take any damage if I can help it. He spreads out, which is very good because that means that I can't get away from everything. He enchants himself with something. I don't know what it is, but he gets freezes on and then he loses a freeze because that was his turn. So he is currently at 28 out of 32 damage instead
And
of
and
36 damage.
and note that the freezes don't drop off until after you finish your activation.
Right.
And like you mentioned, he hit 28 out of 32, which matters because he cast 2 rituals early.
He cast 2 rituals early game, so now he has 32 health, and now he's 4 health away from dead. And what does 4 health of damage? A frost trap.
And given that you're
But
testing frost, you probably prepare a frost trap as one of your 2
yeah,
cards.
yeah. So I prepare a frost trap. I don't know if this is a nullify though. If it's a nullify, then I need another plan. So my next plan is a teleport. I'm going to do something with teleport that puts him where I can get an attack off. I don't know what he's going to do, but teleport is going to do what I need it to do to either myself, the warlord, the panzer guard, or the frost elemental. Like I have a plethora of targets that I can bring together somehow, somewhere to get just one more attack off on the warlord. And that is what you want to. This is why I love force pull so much, because when you've got a guard and a mage, all you need to do is separate one of them. If this guy has a bunch of stuff on him, then you move this guy because he has nothing on him, and he won't have a nullify, right? Um, so there's a choosing your targets wisely is very important. And I wouldn't have prepared the way I did if he didn't only have 4 health left, and that was due to the rituals. He got what he wanted out of the rituals, but at this point, I have only 3 damage on me, and he's got 4 damage left. So even if he just pummels me this turn and gets away from me, I can set it up where with initiative I can kill him next turn. So um, that's and it's all due to that evaluation in the middle of I'm going to lose this if I keep killing creatures. I have to go for the mage, and that is largely why I think people put on armor early so that they don't have to worry about putting it on later. Because armor's not going to save him at this point. A heal would help a lot. If he had a heal, this would be the time to play it for sure, because he has initiative and it can make him not as close to
It,
dead and
all he
make
has
the
to do
game a
is buy
lot easier.
himself a
Yep,
turn,
just a couple
because
turns.
you could put half your life. He's got enough dice on the board to get half dead.
Yep. So 2 turns and I'm a goner. I have to win. I have to win soon. Of course, this is his turn to blank with the troll for the first time this game. So that was not so great. But it's a dice game, so that happens.
Does.
How many times have you lost from 2 damage on a dice roll? Happened a
Yes.
lot to me.
FenCon 2015. Thank you very much for that reminder.
It's happened to me too in tournaments.
Oh, yeah.
1 damage away, and then you lose. So he
Technically,
decides
I
not to do something, which
right,
I'm not sure that's the right thing to do. I
correct,
don't know
because
what he prepared. He should have done something because that makes
yes,
me think. What did he just do? What is he getting ready for? So now I just have one enchantment to worry about. I need to know what this is. And I have a teleport and a frost trap. And I need to decide which one I'm going to use first. Eventually, I decide that I'm going to teleport first, even though if it hits a nullify, that's really bad. Um, but if I can teleport him away from his Panzerguard into here, then I can use my Frost Elemental on him there. And
and
if it
buff him
turns
up
out,
with the glyphs.
yep, and buff him up with the air glyph. So it was not a nullify, and I breathe a sigh of relief and then hope it's not a block. And it ends up not being a block either. And I get enough damage to kill him. But
Turns out it was a really good card and a proper choice.
yep,
Just
no,
didn't,
yeah, he put brace yourself on to not get hit by something, and
or
that is a
to
good choice.
negate a lot of normal damage, which was an excellent choice. And it just turns out that you got lucky with the crit rolls. And of course, the freezes also got dumped on too. So
Yeah,
you didn't have to do
and
any damage. The freezes would have won.
I still had an action afterwards to put a frost trap on if I needed it.
Yep.
So he probably would have moved away and maybe teleported. I don't know. Oh, he had
Well,
blur and
great.
teleport. Yeah, he had blur and teleport. So
Um,
instead of, I think, okay, so let's pause that. Instead of hitting me with the troll, he probably should have teleport blurred
great. He would have
because he's
just.
kept me
He,
from moving.
but the reality is that wouldn't have saved him, right?
No,
Because here's the thing: because you had a teleport as well, right?
yep,
All you had to do was, yeah, you had a teleporter, right? You could have teleported over, been one zone away from him, and frost trapped him.
and frost trapped him, but he would have used his action already, so one would have fallen off. So
True,
he wouldn't have been dead yet, but I would have initiative and be right next to him.
right?
So, and
So,
be away from all of his creatures.
right.
So,
So
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he chose right to
he
try and
played
get
this
some damage
game
on him.
so well up through the middle of the game. He also
Mm.
had some great plays here near the end. Unfortunately, the power of frost such that um, they once they start stacking, they're really a pain in the butt.
But it's really hard to get them to the point where they can stack, right? You have to
I
be able to
agree,
devote at least one action to it every turn. And
right?
if you can't do that, then they fall off really fast.
Yes.
So I think that's actually what makes Frost Trap so good. Um, because
Expensive,
it's
but it's really
expensive,
good.
yeah, but it is. It's really good. I think I might add another one into the book. Take
Yep.
out something useless like, frost elementals.
The thing they're putting the freezes on.
The things that
Um,
are putting the freezes on. No, yeah, right.
yeah, but the frost elemental is what you built the book around for the most part. That's
Yep,
what won you the game because of the fact that you were able to stack freezes. Resonance ability.
yep. Resonance. Now that was doing damage to me or to the golem every time I used it, 3 damage. So it's not cheap. But when you can get that air glyph every turn, man, that's useful.
And so the end of the game technically was won by you a little bit in part due to the fact that
Only due to the
air
fact that what?
spell on the elemental one, because you're able to
Yes.
activate your air glyph as a result. Of course, the frost trap was doing that for you as well, but
Right. That's true.
you were also able to do it with the wand and keep your spells and cheaper.
So, and that wasn't even part of my consideration at the beginning, which it should have been. It should have been I can get my frost off and get the arc lightning. Um, so, yep, things that you think of later after reviewing your games. It's crazy.
Yep,
I
but
really think that this Tempered Falls was a great play.
it was.
Um, and it probably should have been followed up with a little bit more armor and maybe regen.
Yeah, yeah.
Just skip a creature or two
Right, because he had
and
enough
just
things on the board. I think that he played fantastic, except for the last couple rounds. So I think he might have been able to pull this out, but it would have been tough.
yeah, it's true. I think that if I hadn't gotten frost every time I
Mm-hmm.
hit him, it
Yep.
would have been much
I
closer.
Yeah, it still would have been much closer. And the tactics that we're reviewing too also are the position game. Your movements of your creatures and your mage kept you from taking a lot of dice all in one round,
Yep,
right? So to
yep,
move up, you got only one creature able to hit you.
yep. Although he did a great job of killing my stuff off.
Oh yeah, I'm just talking about the last couple turns. Is like
Yep,
your movements uh, were well chosen, and of course his responses to those were also well chosen.
yep.
Spreading
No,
his guys
spreading
out so
these
that he
guys
could get
out
dice on you.
so
Yep,
you can get some dice on me every turn. That's super important.
yep.
Yep. I wonder what's
So,
on here. Like Ballad of Courage Izzy. That would have been really dangerous.
mm, or the Badger Frenzy. Yep, that'd be my
Badger
guess.
Frenzy only works on animals, and she's not an animal in a
Okay, then it's not Badger Frenzy. Um,
warlord.
it could be valid, but hard to say.
Yeah, no, I'd thrown it as a
Nonetheless,
ballad. Otherwise, he would have hit me with her. Probably
that's actually,
that
yeah,
turn.
that's true. Well, he was hurting for mana though.
Was he last turn? I
Yeah,
don't know.
is he which promotion maybe? I don't know, but yeah. Uh, Overall, Alt played a really, really good game and was taking and had control of the game for the most part, most of the game until the last.
Yeah. No, he made me choose suboptimal targets many times, and that is how he won the creature game.
Yep.
He won the creature game by making
Yep.
me have
He just needed to be
suboptimal
able to press
targets.
that advantage, which he was not able to.
And I think part of that came down to that in the beginning when I should have come in here and punched that troll. That way the troll couldn't have gotten away from my elementalist. I would have taken a little damage. But life is a resource in the game too. So,
That's right. And at the end of the game, that extra damage might have changed some of the tactics.
mm-hmm. But not having a troll would have also changed the game a lot.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So I would have still had all three of my creatures at that point, and been able to deal with the Goblin Alchemist and the Ballista probably pretty easily. Um, Depending
Yep.
on what else he would pump out. I don't know how many other big creatures he has in there, but if I have two big creatures in the zone with the barracks, and you don't, um, then your big creatures die when they come out. So, but he killed all my creatures. I had to
Yes,
change
he did.
strategies.
Rather handily as well.
Yeah, no, he efficiently killed everything pretty much. Um, I still think it was the right choice to sacrifice the Pandemonium to keep the Frost Elemental.
Right? Because you kept a threat on the board. It was then healed to max plus -2,
Yeah.
and kept the pressure on as a result. And that decision, I think, ultimately what allowed you to win because you're able to
So
get frost attacks from that and get frost conditions on the mage as a
Right.
result.
If I had tried to attack and kill the troll, though, I wouldn't have had that second frost elemental.
True.
Interesting. Oh, the future is full of what could be's.
Yep. Yep.
Past is what could have beens.
It was an interesting game and study in the power of frost.
What was that?
It was an interesting game and a study in the power of frost.
Yeah, power of frost. Yeah, frost is good when you can focus.
Yep.
When you can't focus, it's not very good.
I think you would
Um,
struggle against a fire-based mage.
oh, for sure, for sure. Um, I would have to do something different against a fire-based mage, I think. Which
Yep.
is why I have updated this book for something else. And
Mhm.
the reason being, if I want people to stay in a frozen tundra, I need to be able to keep them there. And one of the best ways to keep somebody somewhere is to use the wind elemental. So I have now put in a wind elemental.
Interesting. Yeah, because moving guards around with the wind elementals.
It's really nice. You don't need force pushes or teleports. Just
Of
use the wind elemental. Also, you can do some damage.
course, you're sort of using teleports because the wind elemental, I believe, has one.
Yeah, is
Sort
it
of
a
like
push? It
paying
has a
for a
push on its
teleport in
attack, right?
advance.
Yeah. So, but that would tick down my mana a little faster.
Yep.
So I
Part of the
I
reason for
did
the double
not
fog.
actually think very much about my mana this game. There was I think one turn where I had 17 mana and I had to really think about what I was going to do. But I
Right.
ended up not using either of my spells that turn. I think that I picked, and then I just had mana for the rest of the game. Um,
Right. You were never mana screwed in any at any point.
which is really why I love the 2 flower opening for Elementalist. You just need the mana. You need to be able to use those glyphs um, to their effect, especially if you're playing Frost. If you're playing Fire, you really only need 3 extra mana every round. And if you use, and the other thing is, I was using level 1 spells. So I'm not trying to maximize a fireball or a boulder, right? I'm just trying to eke out the level 1s and turn them into level 2s with a little bit more mana, basically, which is something I got from Sharkbait, actually. That allows you to have more toolboxes in your book because you aren't spending it on high level skill points. Now, it might have been nice to have another boulder throw or a fireball to throw, but I did not. But having one boulder is really important. Have at least one boulder, fireball, lightning bolt, whatever it is you're good at.
In an elementalist, that's a lot easier to do.
Yep. Yep. All right. Well, thank you for joining me, Zot. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you for
Thanks for the
playing
invite.
Alt. You're welcome. I always enjoy hanging out with you, Zot. And thanks, Alt, for the game. And this has been Tactics with Puddnhead and Zot.